Good morning. Today is Sunday, June 9th, 2019. And I just wanted to hop on this morning because every once in a while I see posts from people who have fear and trepidation about going to social functions like weddings and concerts and sporting events, places they know they're going to be around alcohol. And I just want to give a little perspective on that. Yesterday, I had a great afternoon down in South Milwaukee. They had something called Crusher Fest. They were unveiling a statue of a local celebrity by the name of the Crusher. And for those of you who don't know, the Crusher was a legendary professional wrestler back in the day. His heyday was probably from about 1960 to the mid-80s. And he was just a local legend around these parts. And I just remember my Grandpa Schultz, my mom's dad, when we would go down there to Winona, he loved to watch All-Star Wrestling, my grandpa, and he loved the Crusher. The Crusher was his favorite. So when I saw they were unveiling a statue of him in South Milwaukee yesterday, and I heard some of the old-time wrestlers were going to be there, I had to go down, and I'm glad I did. I just had a great time. But it reminded me that in sobriety, I can go and have an even better time than I would have been if I was drinking. Yesterday, there were a lot of beer drinkers there. And for those of you who don't remember the Crusher, one of his gimmicks was that he was a blue-collar guy from Milwaukee, and he loved to drink beer and smoke cigars and go to the saloons and dance the polka and do all that stereotypical stuff that they did back then. But in fact, the statue of him, he actually has a keg of beer on his shoulder. During his interviews, he used to say that he used to train by carrying kegs of beer on his shoulder. So for this former beer drinker who lives in the beer capital of the world, Milwaukee, you can imagine that some of this stuff would be kind of triggering. But that's what's so great about recovery, is that I could go there yesterday. I had literally hundreds of beer drinkers around me, and I was down there for a good 3 hours yesterday. I went and I had a couple of bratwurst, and I had a soda, and I was just fine. And I didn't have any problems with all the people that were drinking around me. I was actually kind of glad that I wasn't one of them, because I know that I wouldn't be up here at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning making a video about it. I'd be still laying in bed all hungover, and I probably might have even gotten a DWI on the way home, so I didn't have to worry about any of that stuff, and that's a big relief. Now, I understand when you're early in recovery, you don't want to put yourself in those situations. However, I think that true recovery means that you can put yourself in those situations and not be triggered, not be tempted to drink. In fact, you'll probably have my experience where you're actually grateful that you're not one of those people that's getting drunk at a place like that where, hey, that's kind of what the event is for. It's for people to come down and drink beer and smoke cigars and have a good time. And I'm glad I don't do any of that stuff anymore. I'm just very grateful I don't. And I don't hang out in those places normally. I don't go to bars a lot. For those of you who know my story, I used to like to frequent the gentlemen's clubs. And I haven't gone to one of those in probably about 12 years. not because of the drinking aspect of it so much. I don't objectify women that way anymore. Plus, I don't want to be that creepy old guy that's hanging out watching these young ladies dance on the stage. So it's just not who I am anymore, and I'm so grateful for that as well, because I just don't I don't have any desire to do that anymore. So anyway, I just wanted to get on and share some thoughts about that. That you can have fun in sobriety. In fact, you'll probably have more fun in the long run, because you won't be hungover and regretting anything you did the day before. So have a great weekend, and just remember that recovery is progressive.